Hi, thanks for stopping by and joining Country Craft Creations Christmas in July with Tamara and her design team. For my creation, I am presenting a uh, tag book for our My Christmas in July project. Now, for this project, I did use last year's Cartabella's Christmas delivery paper. And I did use the 12 by 12 sheets. Actually, it was just the collection with the 12 by 12 sheets and the stickers. So, for the front of the cover actually measures, the chipboard cover is a 5 by 12, and then it has a 2.5-inch spine, and then the back is also a 5 by 12 chipboard cover. So for the front of it, I took one of the stickers and mounted it on just some cardstock, and this was a lightweight cardstock, and then I cut around the sticker, uh, adhered some pop dots, and put it on 2 layers of design paper, and then artesian black cardstock. Created some flowers used out of the paper, and then some gingham black ribbon. Used a little Martha Stewart punch here. This is another sticker over here. These are some brads that I had in my stash, and these are from Cartabella, and these are some Christmas brads that I had from another one of their collections, but it still went well with it. So for the spine, I just covered the spine and then used some of the stickers. Just to decorate the spine, and I did leave the back empty. I used one of the Tim Holtz knobs as my closure on this, but I think it's a little bit bigger than what I really wanted, but I'm liking it, but I think I would have went with a smaller knob. So when you open the page, it becomes a fold out, and on the first cover, I just have some of the cardstock and the stickers and one of the Christmas brads from Cartabella, and then I used another piece of this was from a cut apart, and I just fussy cut around it, layered it on some chipboard, and created a little pocket folder, tuck pocket for a photo here, for the photo mat there. And then on your first page, each of these pages is an envelope which holds one of the Tim Holtz regular square tags. And each one of them is covered with some of the cardstock. And then I left the black plain, but I think I'm going to go back in since I have some paper left and cover the back as well. So for the first page, I just used one of the cut aparts and added some of the stickers here. Jolly Christmas, and then I fussy cut this and left this open for a photo to go in there. And then it flips over, and on the back you have another photo area here as well, and again then you've got your tag for more photos. For the next page, I have a little photo area here, and I used one of the stickers again, mounted it onto some thin, medium-sized, lightweight cards chipboard, fussy cut around it, and then created another area for a photo mat here. And then again, you've got your tag up here that pulls right out. The next page I left just with the pattern paper on it. Used again one of the stickers onto a lightweight chipboard and fussy cut around it, and then again made another tuck spot there for the photo mat. This one I've used a chipboard piece from another collection that I had, and I thought it went well with the collection, so I just went ahead and glued it down and made another tuck spot there. And again, you've got your tags at the top. And this is another piece of chipboard from another collection that I just used as some embellishment there. Over here, I've got another one of the stickers matted onto the lightweight chipboard, and again, made another tuck spot for your photo there. and then a sticker up here. So I just kind of created like a little scrapbook with each page using the stickers mounted onto lightweight chipboard. This one was another from another collection that I had, and so I just went ahead and popped it on there because, again, I thought it blended in well, and it's a great way to use up your leftover chipboard from other collections. And then this is just a sticker on, I fussy cut onto lightweight chipboard as well. Flip it over to the next page, and you've got a little text spot here. And this is a little bit bigger than the photo mat. And then this I cut out from a cut apart, and then just added it on. And it's a great place for a journaling spot, or a little picture can go there as well. So the next one is you've got two areas for photo mats, and those are just part of the stickers that I put on there. And then this again is from another collection that I just used one of the Christmas brands from, and then a piece of chipboard from another collection that was just in my stash. In the back page, this is a cut apart, and then I use this is part of the paper collection that I just cut out, and I believe that was from the border page. And I just cut that out and then used it as a check spot there. This is a sticker, again, on lightweight chipboard with one of the Christmas brands that I had. Another sticker that I put on chipboard that you can put tuck a picture in there. And then a sticker up here. And then on the next one, I've got, again, part of a cut apart that I just fussy cut out, and then used it as a text spot for your photo. And then I added a very small waterfall here with 3 areas for photos with paper, and then I just left the other 2 back blank. And that is magnetically closed. And then the last back of the cover, again, a cut apart. Great place for journaling or adding a small photo there. This was just a piece of the pattern paper, and then I created a little text spot here with another one of the stickers that I matted onto lightweight chipboard, and then just glued it down at the bottom. So that is my project, and if you will continue watching, you will see the tutorial on how to create this cute little tag album. It's very simple and quick to create, and a lot of fun to decorate using your scrapbook type of technique for each page. So be sure to subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Country Craft Creations Facebook page, join our group, and check out all the other designers' Christmas and July projects as well. In my beginning of my video, I've listed all their links to their projects. Again, thanks for joining us, and have a great day. Okay, here's the tutorial for my Christmas tag album for Country Craft Creations Christmas in July. So to begin with, you're going to need 2 pieces of chipboard. This is a heavyweight chipboard cut 5 by 12. So 2 pieces cut 5 by 12, 1 piece cut 2.5 by 12. I've already added my score tape to the back of that to kind of help move this tutorial along for you. I've cut my paper for my chipboard at 7 by 12. I have 2 pieces of that, and then I have 1 piece that is a 5 by 7. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and connect all these pieces together so we can get our chipboard covered. Okay, kind of messed that up, but I think I'll be all right. All right. What I do for my guideline to add my chipboard is I score 1 inch on the bottom of the paper. So each one of these have an inch, but I put this one up here on the top, but that's all right. We'll still work. It just helps as the guideline for me. So, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our spine, which are the 2.5 by 5. Let me pull the back score tape backing off. So my paper that I cut 7 by 12 and 5 by 12, that allows you the 1 inch for the top and 1 inch for the bottom. Then since our chipboard is 5 inches, so you always want to cut your chipboard or your uh, cardstock that you're covering your chipboard with 2 inches more than what your chipboard is. So I'm going to go ahead and do this right here. So I'm putting it in the middle between the two seams, and I hope you can see this. I'm using white cardstock, although I'm using the black chipboard, but that's okay. I wanted to use the white to kind of, it thinks it helps, it's better to see than when you use just the black. So I'm hoping this will help. So I'm going to go ahead and add my score tape to each side of my chipboard. So we're going to make this just like you would a normal album cover. All right, so let me pull the backing off of this one. And what I used on this is I used score sheets, and then I just used a couple of pieces of the 3 by 8 score tape to finish up what the score sheet did cover. So I'm just going to line this up next to that score tape and on my guideline here, like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Like I said, this is pretty easy album to whip up, so I'm hoping that we can do this and not have to make a second video. I don't think I will have to, but we'll see. So I'm going to line this one up right here next to this along my score line, and there you go. Okay, so that is down. I'm going to take my score tape just like I normally would on when I'm making a normal album, because that's what I'm doing, is just making my album cover here, look just like I would a normal album. And I'm going to go ahead and add this. Now I'm just using my 1/4 tape here, and I'm going to be okay because of the fact that this is not a very wide album, and so I know that from here to here, that's going to give it enough tape to hold it. And I'm just going to come back over here. Okay, so I want to go ahead and fold up my edges, get them ready, start working my, breaking down the little fibers in my paper. And I'm doing it on all four sides. And that's allowing me to make my marks so I know how to cut my corners. And since this is not one that I will be using, I am using some lighter weight cardstock that I normally would use. And this is not the artesian paper that I normally use, so it's really, you can see some of the creases in it a little bit more than you could with the artesian, but this is just so I could give you the tutorial. When I created the first one, I did have the full tutorial done, and guess who deleted it? Yep, I can't believe I did that, so I'm having to redo it, but that's okay. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pull all my tape off. Just make it quick and easier. Okay. Now before I fold it over, I am going to take my adhesive art glitter glue adhesive and just run it along the edges of the chipboard. And that's going to help soften up the fibers. So when I go to fold the paper over, it's going to hold it a little bit better and prevent it from splitting on me. So I did all four sides, and that's okay because it's a very light, thin layer, and it's just enough to soften up the fibers of the paper. So when I fold it over, it's going to fold over and have a nice sharp edge against the chipboard. And I'm going to turn it over and do the other side. And do my corners or my sides. And do my other side. Okay, so now to cover the inside of this, I've cut two pieces of cardstock that are 4 7/8 by 12. And I'm going to need another piece here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece. Make sure I have all my pieces. I'm not going to cut something that I need. So, let me see here. Okay, so I'm going to cut this down to 4 7/8 as well. And that's going to go in between these two. That's going to give it enough room that it's going to cover this. So my seams are not going to be on any of the creases. So I'm going to go ahead and normally I would use my score tape on my albums. Like I said, this is just a prototype. So I'm going to go ahead and use art glitter glue, which is fine, but for my albums I normally don't use the art glitter glue. I usually use score tape. I'm just going to put it on there. Sharp it down. And I'm going to go ahead and get it in there into those seams. Make sure that it's down good. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the same with this one. I'm going to just use my glue on it just so I can show you how I did it on the original. And I'm going to match it up here, there. And next one. Okay, this one is coming right up to the seam for some reason. Let me cut it off. Let me cut it down to 11.5. Because I don't want it up on this. I want it to cover my seam that of the first piece, but I don't want it up on this like this one is. So this one I should have cut too. If you put pattern paper on here, you would not see it, but I'm not going to put pattern paper on here. Okay, so there is your album cover. Now, let's go ahead and make the hinge. Let me bring this over here, move this out of the way. So the hinge, you want a piece of cardstock cut 5 and 5 by 12. So 5 by 12, and you want to start your first score line at 1.5, score again at 2, 2.5, 3, 3 1/4, 3 3/4, 4 1/4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 5 3/4, 6 1/4, 6 3/4, 7, 7.5, 8, 8 1/4, 8 3/4, 9 1/4, and then 9 3/4. And that's going to be your hinge. So what you're going to do is, starting on, this is your 1.5, fold it over. Fold over the next half, and that's going to be your first. So then you should have, you folded over your 1.5, you folded over your next half, so then you're going to have a 1/2 and a 1/2. So you want to use your adhesive on your second half. So you got 1, 2, 3, half. Score marks are 1/2 inch, so you want to put your adhesive on your third one. Take your second and fold it over to your third. Okay, and that's going to be your first hinge. Your next line is your 1/4. Skip that one, skip the next half, score mark, and then add your adhesive to your second half. Fold it one over on top of it and burnish. Fold that back and burnish. So what you have is, this is going to be under, when you're all done, you're going to have a 1/2 inch, you're going to have a 1/2 inch, you're going to have a 1/2 inch hinge, you're going to have a 1/4 space, 1/2 inch hinge, and then another 1/4, and you do that. So next you have your 1/4 score mark, a 1/2 score mark, and a 1/2 score mark. On that second half, go ahead and add adhesive. Fold that over. Fold this one back. And burnish it. So now you have your 1/4, a 1/2, and a 1/2. So you want to add adhesive to that second half. Take the first half and fold it over. Fold back your 1/4. And you now have 1 hinge, 2, 3, 4 hinges. So we have 2 more to go. So again, you've got your 1/4, a 1/2, a 1/2. On that second half, you want to add your glue or your adhesive, score tape, whatever you're using. Fold it over, burnish. Fold back that 1/4. Burnish it down. You have another 1/4, a 1/2, and a 1/2. On that second half, go ahead and add your adhesive. Now you're going to have a 1/4, a 1/2, a 1/2, and a 1/2. So you only want to do it on that second half. Fold that back. Okay, so this is what you should have. You should have 6 hinges. Which I do. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So on that first 1.5 inch strip for your first score mark, go ahead and add adhesive, and then just fold that over onto the back of that. Now we're going to have to cut a little bit off this back piece. It's a little bit more than what we need. So what I'm going to do is put that on the 2-inch mark and just cut it off. I'm not going to add adhesive, not on that half, but on this part here. And then I'm going to fold that over. So there's my hinge. I've got a 1/2 inch, I got a hinge, a 1/4 inch, a hinge, a 1/4 inch, a hinge, a 1/4 inch, a hinge, 1/4 inch, a hinge, another 1/4 inch hinge, and then a 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to put my cover here. Sorry, I've got red sprinkles there that I don't want on it. So I'm going to go ahead and add adhesive to my back of my hinge. And again, your hinge is 5 inches long because it's going to fit right up top to bottom on this. And you're just going to set it right there on the middle of that. Okay. Get your hinge down. Make sure it's down and glued on there good. Alright, so you got your 6 hinges right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right in the middle. Alright, move that away, and now we're going to start on the pages. So, for the pages, you're going to need to make 6 pockets. So, you're going to need to cut 6 pieces of cardstock that are 5.5 by 9. You're going to score it on right down the middle. So you're going to score it along the 9-inch side at 4.5. You're going to rotate it, score it at 1/2 inch at the bottom, rotate it, score it at 1/2 inch on the side, and rotate it again and score another 1/2 inch. Okay? What we're going to do, and you want 6 of these, so you want 6 pieces, 5.5 by 9. You're going to score it. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put this at my 5-inch side, and I'm going to just cut off the bottom piece and come right up to the middle score line at 4.5. Okay. I'm going to cut this at an angle. I'm going to miter this corner over here. I'm going to come over here to this and miter set up on that 1/2 inch there. There. And I'm going to miter this corner here. So I'm going to fold in my score lines. And there's our pocket, okay? That's all you want to do. Now, for your pages, you're going to cut 6 different pieces of cardstock. Your first one, you're going to cut at 1 by 5. Okay, and you're going to score that 1-inch piece at 1/2 inch. Okay. You're going to take your left-hand side, this side here, and you're going to fold that over so that when you lay this, the right-hand side down, this left-hand side is up. All right. You want to take your pocket, add adhesive to one side, and you want to line this right up on that pocket. Right there. Right up against that score line. You're going to take your other half and you're going to add your adhesive to that one, and you're going to come right over and line it up right on, right next to that score line there. Then you're going to take, and before it dries, I'm going to add a little adhesive down here at the bottom and then here at my bottom. All right. All right, so there's our first page. Let me grab one of our tags. There's your first page, and there's your tag holder right there. Okay. Page 1. Page 2, cut a piece of paper at cardstock, 2.5 by 5, and you want to score it at 1/2 inch. You want to turn that left hand fold it over at the score line going towards your right. So when you're done, it's going to stick up like this. All right. Get your pocket, your next pocket. Now, I already cut all my pockets. I just did one to show you to make this go a little bit quicker. And this is going to on your hinge. Your left side will be your hinge side. The right side is your pocket side. So you want to line that up a 1/2 inch. Add it. Okay. Add your adhesive to your other side of your pocket. Fold it over. Make sure your top and your bottom is even. And there's your second page. And there's your pocket for your tag. So that's page 1, page 2. Okay. Page 3, you're going to cut a 4 by 5, score it at a 1/2 inch, burnish your score line so that your hinge is on your left hand side. Get you your, again, your envelope. And because I left this 1/2 inch over here, that is what I'm meeting this up to make it a 1/2 inch. I'm just lining my paper up against that 1/2 inch score there, burnishing it on. Adding my paper, or my adhesive to my page, the other half, and I'm meeting it together. And there, page 3 with your pocket. Okay. Page 4, 5.5 by 5, score at a 1/2 inch. Fold your score line over. Whoops, so your score, your hinge is going towards your right. Get your another pocket. Add adhesive. And I'm just going to line it up, match top to bottom. Add my glue to my bottom over here, to this side here, and then fold it over, making sure that I'm even, my top and bottom are even. Finish down, across the bottom. There's page 4 with your pocket, your tag pocket. Page 5, cut a piece 7.5 by 5, score at a 1/2 inch, burnish your score over so your hinge is up. Take your pocket, add your adhesive, line this right up with your 1/2 inch score. Top to bottom's even. Okay. Fold that over, making sure that your bottom and your top are matched. There's page 5. Page 6 is 8.5 by 5. Score at a 1/2 inch on the left hand side. Burnish it up. Have it so that your flap is up. And you're going to do the same thing with your last envelope page. Add your adhesive over on this side. And match your bottom and your top. All right, there's your 6 pages. Okay, and that makes your pages for your album. Get your album back, and then to add your pages to your album, all you're going to do is you're going to put adhesive. Okay, I'm going to start from the back. So this is my back page. This is my hinge. So I'm going to add adhesive to the top of my hinge. And then I'm just going to match this 1/2 inch here with that one and glue it on. So there's page 1, or page 6, since I'm going backwards. Add it. Take your next hinge, fold it over, and add this one right there. Match it up, 1/2 inch to 1/2 inch. Make sure it's burnished on there. And there's your next page. Page 4. Again, top of the hinge, or the front part of the hinge. Line this one up. And there's your next page. Next flap. Again, I'm doing the top of the flap or the front of the flap. And then I'm going to add my 3rd page here. Line it up. Front of the next hinge. And I'm adding page 2 on it. Okay, and there is your book. And then all you need to do is get your tags and put them in there. So there's page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6. And that is your album. There you go. Super easy, super quick, and adorable once you get it decorated with your decorative paper and that. So again, thank you for watching. Thanks for joining our Christmas in July. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message and I will gladly help you out. Have a good day. Bye-bye.